they did it again. Again and again. Another one. Banger. Guys, how does rezero, how can we let them keep getting away with dropping peak every single week? This is crazy. We're on like a what? This is episode what? 6, 7?
6, 7!
We're on like a streak. They have not missed the cliffhanger this episode. Are y'all ready for Arc 6, bro? Arc 6 is about to start, my guys. Holy. What an episode, guys. Barely, no action, no nothing, okay? Just good old talking, some good old arguing, and boom! Cliffhangers galore. Guys, this episode was probably, this is up there again for me, just because of the character interworkings, all the character dialogue. This episode is super dialogue heavy, but I am here for it. I'm loving it. And from here, guys, it's only about to get crazier. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And today we are talking rezero season 4, episode 7. Guys, I gotta say, 2 weeks in a row, my boy Julius is taking the hurt. All right. Last week was the physical, and this week is the emotional. All right. Last week it was Anastasia knocking his ass out twice. Okay. And this episode, my boy Julius, he really gets the hurt on that emotional side, you know? We start the episode with Julius and Subaru in the healing room, right? And Julius is being scolded by Emilia, right? And she's just doting on him, telling him, stay in the room, don't leave, don't try anything like you did again, please. You're not gonna win, so just pipe down, puppy, okay? And Julius is taking it well. He's like, you know what? I done messed up, I done goofed. You know, I'm gonna sit down. And Emilia says something that's really interesting, because at one point she says, you know, Julius, it's okay, like, you're one of us, you know? She says something like that. And I'm like, oh, baby dog, Emilia, please, don't forget that you're gonna have to go, like, rumble with these people at the end of the day, okay? Like, you guys might have the same mission right now, but you guys are on different camps. Okay, so please just like keep that in the back of your mind, you know? Like, I'm like, yo, how is Emilia gonna go fight these people for the royal selection now, bro? This girl's making friends with everybody, man. So Subaru and Emilia, they leave Julius in the room and they go and discuss with the rest of the group. And Ram, she's actually pissed that Julius went alone to go fight Reed, because the way Ram sees it, he could have messed up the whole second exam for everybody and fucked everything up, you know? And she's here for Rem. She's trying to wake Rem up. So she doesn't have time for idiots doing no foolishness that's going to jeopardize the mission. And you can't really blame her, right? Because honestly, for Rem, Julius is like a nobody. You know, she has no connection to Julius. And when you're comparing that to Ram, get out of here. It's no question. So she's actually really pissed. But they're all just convening, trying to figure out a way to beat Reed. And it's really interesting. Shala, she actually says something interesting. She's like, you know, no matter how long it takes, you guys, I'll be here watching you. 10 years, 50, a century, no matter how long it takes, I'll be here watching. And I'm like, oh my gosh, bro. Like, just keep like, sometimes Shala, like the way she says things, just watch that, guys. She's really creepy, you know? She'll just go from like really nice to then be like, yes, stay here forever with me. I love you. I want you. I'm like, bro, calm down. Cool it, you know? But I gotta say, guys, White Fox, they are on one because Amelia's standing to the side, and I don't know why they have her looking thicker than a Snicker. Is it just me? Like, bruv, on God. But we get a little tidbit, we get a nice little dinner scene. Everybody's eating, and Shala, she over there eating like a monster. Like, bro, somebody come collect her, girl, man. Like, holy, the way she just want that Subaru meat, like, bro, she's eating that meat like she wishes it was Subaru, bro. Like, pause. Like, it's crazy work, bro. But I love the little tidbit we get with Betty and Subaru. We get a little more Betty this episode, which I can appreciate. I was watching the Betty scenes and I'm like, oh my gosh, like we really haven't had too much like Betty in the last couple of episodes. I'm like, damn, like, I'm missing Bitco, man. Like, what one? But this is when everybody, after they have their dinner, everybody has their laughs, whatever. They all go to sleep. Everybody goes their ways, and Subaru, he goes to go see his girl, number 2, right? He goes to go see Rem. So he gets to the room, and Julius is in there. Of course, he's watching over Anastasia. And, they just start talking, and they just start arguing about who's going to stay because, Subaru wants to stay for Rem, but he didn't know Julius was in there. So now Subaru wants to go, and Julius wants to stay, but there's like, no, you, that whole thing, right? But it is really, again, I love the dialogue heavy episode, guys, especially Subaru and Julius, like they're just talking, and it's really funny because Julius, the knight, he's worried about what he's gonna say to Anastasia when he wakes up. Like, bro, you're her knight. Why are you worried about what you're gonna say? And Subaru's like, like, it's pretty simple, brother. All you gotta say is, I've been waiting. Like, I'm so glad you're okay. I was so worried. I'm happy you're awake. He's like, you only have to worry about what to say after that. And it's really funny because Julius, he just looks at Subaru and he's like, you speak so freely. I'm envious, and it really puts up that dichotomy between the two, right? You have Subaru who just wears his heart on his chest. He speaks with impulse, he just says what he means. He says what he's thinking, and you have like Julius, a knight, he's got to be reserved, stoic, he can't just be wilding out, he's got to be knightly, so it's just really interesting to see the two sides of the coin, and Julius is envious of Subaru, who funny thought, right? Like, and Subaru, or they decide that Julius is going to leave and Subaru can catch up with Rem. So he goes and he sits beside her and he passes out. Subaru wakes up and Anastasia's gone. He's like, whoa, like, what's going on? Like, where'd she go? So he walks out of the spiritual room, that healing room, and there's one of the birds, He runs, follows the bird, comes across a wall, and he's like, the hell? Where'd the bird go? So he figures out that the wall must be like a fake wall or something. Puts his hand through it, and he's like, okay. Crawls through it and finds Anastasia on the other side. And she's just looking at the stars, And they just start with a little small talk, oh, wow, so nice out here. And I'm like, bro, is Subaru trying to riz up Anastasia? Add another one under the belt? Bro's coming up talking about yeah, it's a clear night and the stars look beautiful, just like you. I'm like, whoa. He didn't say the just like you part, but I'm like, damn, bro. Like, talking about the stars and shit, all beautiful. But this is where Fox Donna, she starts getting confrontational. She's like, Subaru, who are you? You're a mystery. What's your past? Like, she's like, Anastasia was doing some digging into you and she couldn't find anything. There was a little incident before the royal selection, but beyond that, you're basically a ghost. Where do you come from? Who are you? And it's really just interesting to see. This is literally how most of the people in the world see Subaru, okay? The guy is literally just a random dude who popped up out of nowhere, okay? Imagine, okay, dead ass imagine this. You're just like a random person in Lagunica, right? You're like some like high official. You hear word of some like kid you've never even heard about, right? Running into the royal selection ceremony, declaring himself a knight, no idea who this kid is, right? Next thing you hear, the kid is slaying archbishops. He's slaying the three great mob beasts, right? He's taking down the white whale. He's taking down the archbishop of sloth, of greed. You're like, bro, who is this guy, right? Just popped up on the scene. All of these feats achieved in a year. In a year. Saved Pristella. Some random dude. You'd be like, yo, who is this guy? And now for Anastasia, it's even more weird. Because it's like, okay, you say this is your first time coming to the Watchtower, but Shala is saying that you're her master. So what's the connection? What's going on? And Subaru's like, I swear I'm telling you the truth. And Fox Donna is just not believing it. And you can't blame her. You can't blame anybody. Subaru's an anomaly. The guy is a ghost. Nobody knows nothing about the guy's backstory before he joined up with like the Emilia camp. Right? So you can't even blame her for asking all these questions, right? She's like, how are you able to pass the third test so easily? Coincidence? I can't believe it. I just can't believe it. And I'm like, damn, especially if you're not Watchtower with him. How can you even believe what he's saying? How? But it's during this that Julius actually overhears the conversation. Right? And Julius, he draws his sword. He gets pissed. He's like, yo, tell me what's going on here right now. Who are you? And when he draws his sword, it's not against Subaru. It's against Anastasia. Okay? He's her knight. It's crazy work, you know? It's like, yo, who are you? So Fox Donna basically explains the situation. After the whole incident in Pristella, you know, Anna's consciousness, she's basically in a slumber. I took over her body, blah, blah. But instead of being like, well, Julius is understanding, but then he gets pissed because he's like, whoa, wait. Why did you go so overboard yesterday when I was fighting Reed? Like, what's wrong with you? You're literally draining Anna's life force, and when you're using G-Wald like that, that's draining it faster. You can't be doing that. So Fox Donna, she's like, okay, yeah, I get it. You know, like, she was like, I couldn't lose the only, like, legit fighter we have. Not legit, but Julius is obviously one of the best fighters in the group, you know? So to lose Julius would be a severe blow. So she's like, yeah, I just couldn't let that happen, right? Come to a whole agreement. They're going to tell the whole camp about the Fox Donna situation, right? But as they're leaving, Julius is pissed with Subaru, right? And from Julius's perspective, again, you can kind of understand why, because even when he first finds out, you know, he's like, why did you only tell Subaru? What's up with that? Why'd you only tell Subaru? And they have to tell him that Subaru was the only one who was able to figure it out. And that's like a blow to Julius, you know? He's like, as her first night, like, you're not even in our camp and you were the one to notice. Like, it wasn't me, her closest advisor, you know, her right hand. Like, what? Takes that one super hard, and I'm like, damn, Julius can't catch a break, my brother. God. First read, now this. You know? And it's crazy. You know, Julius is mad Subaru didn't tell him. And it's it's so interesting because at the same time that Julius is mad at Subaru for not telling him, he's also very aware of the fact that Subaru only did it out of concern for Julius. And he's like, if I was in your shoes, I may have done the same thing. Like, he understands, you know? But he didn't want to feel unworthy as a knight. Bro, Julius, man, you know, like, oh, poor guy, can't catch a break. Well, he's about to get like a little break, but my God, poor guy. You know, he's just, after losing his name, like, he's just really going through it, you know? The guy's like, I can't lose like one more thing, you know? He calls himself her first knight, and Subaru just calls it a stupid title. And he's like, no, I need it. I need like one thing that like I have still. The one thing I still have left. Nobody remembers me. Nobody remembers nothing, but it's the one thing I have. Poor guy, man. Guys, drop a W Julius in the comments, okay? I know some of y'all were coming after me last episode with that whole fraud watch thing. But guys, you know I love Julius. You know I was just playing. Guys, it was just a little joke because Reed just beat his ass, you know? Like, we love Julius over here, right? But after this fight, Subaru walks away and he actually runs into Ram. And when he runs into Ram, it's funny. He asks her, he's like, did you go upstairs, you know? And she was like, no, I was about to, and I turned back like halfway. And I was just like, oof. Guys, wouldn't that be a fight to see? Ram versus Reed? Ooh. Ooh. Bruv. Y'all know Ram is strong as fuck. I would pay good money to see that shit. On God. That would actually be so fire. When she said that, my mind immediately jumped. I was like, yo, oh my goodness. I wish we could have seen like a little Ram versus Reed. Like, it would have been so crazy. Ram, yo. Oh my God. What, guys, I'm not glazing. You can go look at the list. Ram is like in the top 10 strongest rezero characters. I ain't even playing, okay? But Ram and Subaru, they have their little talk, good night. And as Subaru's walking away, he sees a door, right? And as he sees the door, he gets this idea and he's like, wow, like if this works, and he just runs. And this is when we cut to the next morning and Beiko and Emilia are waking him up. And as they're talking, Subaru's looking confused. He's looking dazed, you know? And he's like, whoa, I must have been summoned to another world. Guys, my bot. Guys, my boy has amnesia. The guy doesn't even the guy has no idea. The guy thinks he just got isekai'd right now, middle of Arc 6. No idea. No idea. And that's where we leave the episode. They're like, what? He just jumps up on the table and he starts screaming about how I've been isekai'd, and thank God. I'm like, bro, you don't even know the pain that you are in for, my guy. Crazy work. Banger episode, guys. Straight talking, all dialogue, fire cliffhanger. Like, ReZero can do it fucking all, man. It can do the action, the drama, the slice of life, the dialogue. Like, there is nothing that is not S tier about ReZero. The characters, the writing, the story, okay? Like, the foreshadowing, it's all peak. It's genuine greatness. How are you guys feeling about the season so far? How are you feeling about this episode? Straight banger, banger, banger. Next episode is gonna just be like, from here on in, like, this is where Arc 6 just gets insane. I remember reading this and I was like, huh? What the hell just happened? I was like, no way. Guys, drop your comments down below. Drop your thoughts down below. What more can I say? Peak Zero, strap in, guys. Get ready. It's about to get nuts. Thank y'all for staying this long. If you stayed this long, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, guys. We're here every single Wednesday. Peak Zero back on top, baby. What more can I say? Peace, guys. We will be back with another one. Boruto just dropped today, so my Boruto chapter review will be out tomorrow, my guys. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Peace.